Just coming into Belfast. There's a little bit of sun up there somewhere. Hopefully. Good morning, we're just about to do our tour of Belfast. It may be a bit muffled because as you can see we've got music on, but hopefully you'll be able to hear. In the grounds of Stormont, but he's still there so far. So very often when you come up here, sometimes there's demonstrations on the Northern Ireland Protocol, which has meant that checks have to happen on some goods coming in from Great Britain. So the unionist parties, a lot of them are up in arms about that, and the DUP called the Sword Men, and that's because if you walk through there, that was one of the entrances to the shipyard way back. So there's a little sculpture there to commemorate the shipyard workers. And there's another little nice mural here on the right of some cultural events and symbol of hope. So the whole mural painting tradition is starting to was the Royal Victoria Hospital. Now we're crossing the River Lagan now, and you get a nice view of the river, and at the end of the bridge here on the left you'll see a statue, a steel sculpture on a ball. And you have a minute or two at the lights to appreciate it. Now in the early 2000s, a lot of sculptures were commissioned around the city centre to celebrate peace. And that one is based on Thanksgiving Square in Dallas. And the locals have many names for her. She's known as the Bell on the... But it didn't happen because the hotel group had to go into administration. So this side of the City Hall has all the war memorials and the cenotaph, and we'll get a view of the front in a moment or two. We'll just windows. There's Queen Victoria there. She doesn't look very happy, but she never did, says people. There you go. So the City Hall is where the City Council meet. It's also where you can get married, where births and deaths are registered, and we're just going to pull in here. They opened the Memorial Garden, which is the only, I think it's unique in that it has all the names of the victims of the people who died on board the Titanic. So we've just got time if anybody would like, as well as in Ireland. You'll see a bit of Irish on the wall there as well. So if you look here to the right now, you'll see references to Palestine, to Nelson Mandela in South Africa, as well as the hunger strikers of the 80s. So it's known as the International Wall for that reason. And a lot of people come and take tours, as well as bus tours, walking tours. You can see one there on the left. And we're just about to go through two gates. And these gates would be locked at night time to keep the peace between the two communities, because on one side of these gates you've got the more Catholic Nationalist Falls Road, and the other side leads us quite close to the Protestant Shankill. And here's somebody giving a tour, and I think that's one of the ex-prisoner tours. I think I've seen him before. So they're all walking to. So you can start to see it ahead of you. It'll be on the left as we drive up, and this is probably the most iconic peace wall that's left in Belfast. It was built in different stages. It was built by the British Army, 1969, and it just kept getting higher and higher. So you can see that in the building of it. Now, the streets on either side of this wall prior to 1969 had been mixed streets where people from both Protestant and Catholic communities lived together. Once civil unrest broke out in 1960.
So who's which side?
Well, now this where we drove up in past all the tower building. That was one. From Texas who passed away quite recently. So if you haven't been and you're ever back in Belfast, it is worth a visit. But we're driving round now to where you can see brown girders over there to your right. That is the slipway, that is the place where the Titanic was actually built.